Hey there, folks. This guy right here. This is Brian Apodaca, that's how it's pronounced.
Apodaca, yes.
I've been meeting you in 2 days. I never actually asked you about your surname.
Fair enough.
Hi guys, this is Madhog the Master. As you can tell. Brian here.
Brian, Capn Midnight, Twitter.
Also known as Captain Midnight, and for some reason Adam Blackmoon on Twitter.
Yes.
Which confused me. I thought his name was Adam Blackmoon.
A little alias thing we've got going here.
I thought it was a real name for a while because, you know, I have a friend called Ross Ferris, so...
That sounds like it could work.
Blackmoon. Oh, and right here on the side, here, and you cannot see her right now, we have Laura, which is...
Hi!
Holding one of my Battle Royale manga.
And the My Little Pony.
And
the My Little Pony. She's holding a Battle Royale manga and the Rainbow Dash plushie that I own. That's an interesting juxtaposition.
I would say.
Come here, show them to the world, Laura. Laura is Brian's wife, by the way. Yes, and you know this. Hello.
I've seen this before.
20% cooler, 10 seconds flat. Means acknowledged, and
Battle Royale.
here's
Yes.
the mug. She's a bit camera shy, so that's why you're not seeing her.
Have you seen my friend Brendo has a Battle Royale, like a Scott Pilgrim style Battle Royale poster? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. I'm sure it's better than the entirety of that manga, which is trash, by the way. It's awful, and the artwork...
Very violent, huh?
I'll understand it violent. It's really bad, and for a variety of reasons. And I'm not a fan of the art style either. But as much as I don't like that art style, that doesn't even begin to compare to the art style of a certain comic book that this guy wrote, sent to me, and wanted to review.
It was beautiful, a beautiful thing.
Oh sure.
The black eyes. He's very fond of these black eyes.
This is the guy responsible for Zombie Outlaw. Freaking Zombie Outlaw, everybody!
You know it well.
I made 2 videos about
California comic fans, yes. He's made a few videos on it.
I made a couple of videos detailing my inane repulsion for this comic book.
See the links below. Put them up.
I'll put some annotations, or some cards over here, depending on my mood.
Something up there, maybe.
Yes, Zombie freaking Outlaw. What were you thinking?
Well, you know, funny you mentioned. I can't wait until you get to see the 3rd issue, because we do try to bring it around. We're still trying to win him over. You know, trying to get.
That's
the
never
joy.
going to happen.
We're still trying.
That's never going to happen.
But he's not aware. I didn't want to spoil it, but in the 3rd issue, there's a character. I don't know if you've been aware. There's a character, Scooter. Scooter. He refers to him as Scooter Loser.
He's a loser.
Scooter
His
Loser.
name's Scooter. So Scooter Loser.
But he was. It turns out another character we've introduced. He had a Italian roommate that goes by the name of Dario Dorboni. But, you haven't met it,
bastards!
Yeah, he hasn't met him yet. But his uncle is on the staff of the university. He's an exchange student from Italy.
You bastards!
But he hasn't gotten to it yet.
I'm going to sue you for all your worth.
Dario!
How dare you!
Oh, wait till you see it.
You're putting me in your comic?
Wow, it's a character.
I swear, I didn't know about this. I'm surprised. I didn't know about this. I swear. Well, this is the first time I heard of it.
We're still developing it, but we did like your hatred of Scooter, so we figured maybe he could be a natural foil for Scooter. Scooter and him.
Are you going to kill this guy the first chance you get, eaten alive by zombies?
We will see. I don't know. That might be a little too easy though.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about.
But he doesn't have the 3rd issue yet, so I was going to give it to him.
Let's talk about.
He's barely appeared. He's in the newspaper so far in the 3rd issue, and he's in the background of the scene.
Let's talk about this comic you sent us.
Okay.
Why it is that the back cover of your comic actually makes it look like a far better comic than it is. I'm sorry, but this art style is actually appropriate.
Well, he prefers this art style. This is art
this art style is actually good.
It's a different style.
Then you get the style in the comic, which is basically
It's different. It's different. Yeah.
Misproportioned characters with Popeye arms and demonic black dark eyes that counts in my nightmare.
Well, what we think is that it's the exaggerated nature of it kind of plays in with the writing, which is maybe not. It was maybe a little too serious in tone in the first issue. Then we get a little more more fluid and comedic as we go on. Perhaps
I hate to break it to you, but the first issue actually had a more consistent tone.
That was. We're trying to jam a lot in the second issue.
Here's the thing. This is the zombie outlaw. It's ugly, right? And this is how the main character looks when he's scared.
Yeah, it's
when you have the main characters of your comic being actually scarier than the monsters in the comic, you have some issues here.
Well, if you look at the back cover, this is almost like a choose your own adventure. If you ever saw those books, the choose your own adventure books.
I'm familiar with those.
So it's almost like that style. It's done by this artist Mark Alvarado, who I know from Huntington Beach, where I grew up. And then Benny is the main artist, though it is more cartoony style. But Adriano is not a fan of the Popeye arms and the dark eyes. But we did get a lot of compliments, and a lot of people really enjoyed the Popeye arms.
No, the problem
and that was a big thing that was very popular. So we did stick with that, and although the style was refined a bit in the second issue.
Here's the problem.
I can't speak totally to the art style because Ben's not here to speak on it. But
I bet he would love to say something to my face.
Yeah, he would not be. He would be like trying to strangle him right now, maybe. But it's.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry for having an opinion about this. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, this art style looks ugly and unpolished here.
Well, what do you think about the flashback scene? There's a flashback scene where the art's different. The art style changes a little bit.
Well, here's the thing.
It's more hatching, more detail.
Okay, it's a bit grittier and a bit more interesting.
It's only a few pages.
It's a bit more interesting from a visual standpoint, but it still doesn't look convincing to me.
Yeah.
And again, there is still the problem that the zombies look actually far friendlier.
Now having visited you now, I see that you live near a lake. See, doesn't that bring some more appeal to it? Because these zombies came from a lake on the edge of town. Like, perhaps that makes it a little more, closer to home, where you can imagine these zombies coming from the lake right near where you live, No? I think he's growing. It's growing on him. You can see his expression. He's slowly getting a little vim and vigor out of this. I'm convinced. Just wait for it, folks. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's maybe in the next video, but you'll get to it. But the artwork is
I hate zombies.
Fantastic.
Benny Jordan. The artwork is bad. It's bad. The artwork is bad. If you buy this comic just to sneer at it.
Yes. Well, we would be happy for that. So please.
Okay, so let's talk about how the artwork improved in the second one.
It changes. It's refined.
Now here's the thing.
Some people like the simplicity of the first issue artwork. Some people prefer.
So I think the simplicity here, it's actually not appealing in the slightest because I find the artwork really ugly and unappealing at a fundamental level, and so it just looks really amateurish and not the charming way of amateurish. Now the second one, I gave credit to Benny.
You did give credit that it changed. The artwork got changed.
I can see it's more polished and more complex, and it has layers to it.
Yes.
In fact, there is this panel at the very
the coloring, everything is more detailed.
The coloring is much better, and the characters are better drawn and everything, and there is a sense of depth.
See, there you go, Ben.
There is a sense of depth, and in panel, for example, you can see this close up of the I'm assuming it's one of the main characters, the one that turns into the outlaw zombie, which is out of focus to focus better on the character that's in the background.
He uses some blur effects here and there.
Yes, it gives the panels a sense of depth. With that said, the artwork got even uglier than before. The fact that you polish.
I'm sorry, Ben.
The fact that this artwork has been polished and
it's very polished.
Polished and more detailed only emphasizes the fact that this artwork is unwieldy to look at. It's really ugly, and sometimes it gets done like monsters, and you still got the demonic black eyes!
See, don't worry, Ben. See, he also hates a lot of the stuff that you love, a lot of the comics and animation that you enjoy, so It's okay.
Which
yeah.
one? Which
There's probably stuff that you like. I could rattle off a list.
I hate zombies in general.
So you hate zombie stuff in general.
I am fed up with them.
So you
they
can't.
are literally the most overexposed thing in the media. Everything has been done with zombies. Everything has been zombified or added zombies in it. From video game DLCs to anime to TV to cartoons to comics.
But I think it's instructive for us to take someone who's a strong critic of the zombie genre, the zombie world, the tropes of zombie stuff.
I'm a strong critic because it's been done so many times. There is nothing to add to it that hasn't already become a huge cliche. In fact, even spoofs and parodies of the classic zombie outbreak scenario have become so cliche they're boring.
But that's what you said.
The zombie outbreak is making Shaun of the Dead boring.
Yeah, that's
how
what
can you do that?
It has made you recoil at Shaun of the Dead, which of course Ben likes that movie.
Not recoil. It's still a good film, but
good film.
I cannot look at it without disdain because of the zombies and all that. I think I prefer Hot Fuzz, by the way.
Oh wow! Well, that's when he's shooting up in the sky.
Yes.
Okay,
that was really fun. That was really fun.
See, I actually think you guys probably have some similar. So he really enjoys Ben really enjoys.
I enjoy Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright films, yeah.
I like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's one of my favorite
Pilgrim
films.
was good. That was a video game. It had a lot of video game, but comic book type elements as well.
Actually, I think Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, other than being the best video game stylized film, it's also I think one of the most influential film of my generation.
Well, it's a shame also that he removed himself, or he's no longer on the Ant-Man, which has now been made, I guess.
But apparently, Ant-Man is good anyway because it's Marvel Studios.
Yeah, well, most of it he already laid the groundwork for that. I guess he wrote the script.
Here's the thing about Scott Pilgrim. Since we're talking about Scott Pilgrim, excuse me for a moment.
Pardon me.
She's still reading Battle Royale, by the way.
My wife has good taste.
She can read Italian, apparently.
That's a good thing about comic books. The picture books, you can still see what's going on.
Tell that to some comics that with bad artworks and a lot of needless dialogues that don't go anywhere. And I'm not actually talking about this for once.
Not just our book, other books as well.
I have the entire collection of Scott Pilgrim here, as you can see. I'm a big fan, as you can tell.
Brian Lee O'Malley.
Yeah. So is he Irish Canadian?
He's from he lived in Silver Lake or Los Feliz, near where we used to live, LA, Los Angeles. All these artists.
Here's why I think Scott Pilgrim should be one of the most important films of my own generation, because it's a film that actually talks about what it's like to be my generation, and I say generation Y.
People can relate to with the gaming and Nintendo.
My generation was too young to be Generation X and too old to be the millennials. We were some of the weird kid in the middle that doesn't know exactly what to do with its life. And ideally,
it's not the girl who wrote the essay about being Generation Z. It's not the people at Generation X with Nirvana and
what I'm saying is that ideally, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is about what my generation at a psychological and emotional level. And Scott Pilgrim reflects that sense of lack of direction, not knowing what to do with their lives, meandering in between
general malaise.
Between nerd, some weirdly defined idea of nerd culture and video game and punk rock music and alcohol. The arc of this film is that he will learn both to respect himself and to respect people around him, and he will learn to be a better person because of it. So, it's a film that's about it's a positive and hopeful outlook about my own generation and what it's like to be in this particular peculiar position in life in which you're not quite there yet with your life and your aspirations, and you don't even know if you have aspirations to begin with. You're meandering in that mad special bonus level that is life.
Now I haven't read all those.
I'm referring specifically to the film.
Well, I know, but I was gonna say, how would you compare having read all the Pilgrim books to the film?
The books are better. The books are better, actually.
They have a lot more content. There's a lot more.
Well, of course, you have more time to breathe. But considering the film had to work with 1 hour and 40 minutes, he did a fantastic job.
Did a good job.
It took a radically different path from the comics Alpha way through. It's pretty much.
So does it still wrap up the same? It's just the middle that it just cuts out a lot of the middle.
No, here's the thing: the first 3 issues, which detail the.
I know there are scenes in the movie that are exactly.
Yes,
from
the first 3 issues are. The film is pretty much equal to the first 3 issues for the first Alpha weight.
Okay.
But the second Alpha weight kind of goes into a very different route altogether.
Okay. Because he was still working on the books when they were doing
it.
It
tends to wrap itself out in a similar way, but with different details.
Yeah.
Basically, it's an adaptation, and also that it's also very easy to explain since production to this film began right after the first issue, actually.
Pretty quickly after, so it was picked up. People in Hollywood said, "This is good. We like this. We're going to go with it."
Well, specifically, some people in Hollywood, some more progressive people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the film was not really all that successful.
Yeah, as far as box office, unfortunately, if it had been more successful, maybe we could see some more of that sort of thing.
Then there is the home video market, so
that was more successful there.
So it's a cult classic.
Yeah.
But anyway, zombies. freaking zombie outlaw! I swear,
It's a great book.
No, it's
take it from the
characters are just okay. When they're not completely flat and lacking in personality, they're just unlikable and make stupid decisions.
Douchebags, I believe he
douchebags. All right, so
there is some douchebaggery in it.
Will Smurfs, it's called the Brain.
The Brain.
He makes the dumbest decision ever, and he's kind of a manipulative, womanizing dick, and pretty much forces his friends to do whatever he wants because he. He has a
mentor.
No, he has a toxic personality. And then there's Matt Naismith, which is called the Geek, and he doesn't have quite the personality to even be a geek.
Now
he's supposed to be the everyday straight man, but all he does is being complacent to Will and just going along with whatever the plot says
there's a whirlwind of activity around him. He has zero spun into this tornado.
He's supposed to be the main character. He has zero proactivity. He's the worst.
He's working his way into that.
And then
it's not immediate.
And then there is the mandatory love interest, badly written female character,
LeBron.
Katie Deloney. Her only personality trait is that she's tough. That's it.
She's tough. She's her own personality. She's her own person.
I wish to see that personality.
But
sometimes.
you don't see a lot of her so far. So I'll grant him that. But you're right. We don't see a lot of any of the characters so far.
Our only reason to exist is for Matt Naismith to fuck over.
We haven't seen any of that. He's in love.
The guy openly treats her like an object. She enters a fight.
He wrote poetry for her.
She enters in a fight with Scooter Loser just after he had a sexist comment about her breast, and his answer was, "That the woman is going to be my wife one day," because
he also said, "I'm a horse. She may someday be my wife. I'm a horse." But that's another reference from something else. But
he's terrible. I mean,
Naismith, also his name,
he's terrible.
Which. No, you're not.
Okay, his
last name, Matt Naismith.
He's not okay. The guy is not even dating the girl. He's already assuming, she's going to be my wife. That's how a creepy person acts. That's a stalker.
It's a stalkerish, romantic.
Except
mentality.
He's not intimidating or threatening enough to be not even a stalker because he has zero personality.
Yeah, he's not. He's
the guy who says, "Oh man, here we go again. This is my life, always me. Oh my." And occasionally he has these moments of absolutely out of nowhere overacting scenery, which is like, enough with the zombie stuff, man. Which was so out there, it was so ridiculous and baffling and stupid. It was actually a standout moment.
It was a beautiful moment. We believe.
Only because it was so absurd. Enough with the zombie stuff, man. I want to see T-shirts of that, actually.
We'll get on that, right, Ben? Benny, are you there? I think he's turned it off now. But okay, the point is,
Benny,
Naismith.
Can I say something? Your zombie cosplay.
He did like your
zombie cosplay is better
makeup.
than your artwork.
That is his artwork, though. That's also his artwork.
You should become a makeup special effects. You should be a makeup artist and a comic book artist. Just my suggestion.
But one thing Don't let Madhog throw you off here.
Madhog.
Don't let Madhog throw you off. It is great artwork. A lot of people are fans of it.
But I'm not saying.
But
I'm not saying,
it's not his cup of tea.
Here's the
clearly,
thing.
It's not his cup of tea.
I'm not saying he's a. Okay, here's the thing. I'm joking around, but I'm not saying he's a bad artist. He clearly knows.
He has facility
style,
with art.
Okay,
yeah,
I cannot say the same for this first issue. But it's obvious that the style in this comic is on purpose and very much carefully crafted. It's just not really good to look at, if you ask me. It's as if you're making a very patiently labor of love type of artwork, but you're making it ugly on purpose, which in a way it's even worse because it means you're a talented artist, but you're directing the room on purpose.
It is not his.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not to his taste. It's.
I really don't. I mean,
basically what he's saying. He's saying more ponies is what he's saying. He needs more.
I'm not saying more ponies. Although it would be an improvement.
We would, yeah.
At least it would make this comic interesting.
Give you a little. Well, maybe you'll.
Maybe you
see
should. Maybe you should throw in some gems from Steven Universe.
Yeah, Steven Universe. I haven't heard of the Steven Universe yet.
And you should throw in some little. I don't know. Orange is the New Black.
I was trying to introduce him.
You should have zombies in Orange in the New Orange is the New Black.
I think Tom Savini in Night of the Creeps? No. I don't know.
But anyway,
I'm trying to introduce him to Night of the Creeps.
But here's the thing.
I was dragged here against my will, Ben. Don't.
I have kidnapped him. If you don't sell me a good comic that has nothing to do with zombies, I'm going to cut pieces of his being up until there's nothing left. And then if
I'll send him a copy of Shadowhunters. Maybe that will.
The title does not inspire me.
Shadowhunters. Yeah, that's another exciting one.
Does it have undead in it?
I don't know. It has like monsters, I think.
Does it have creative monsters?
It has women, like 3 different girls with powers of some sort. I don't. You'll have to check with Doobie. There's another artist.
Do you have anything to add to this conversation, Laura?
I love zombies.
She loves zombies. See,
she's dead to me.
The Americans,
she's undead to me, in fact.
Yeah.